This our first trip together. Oh, hey, everybody in first class. I thought he was getting us first class tickets, but he lied. Well, we all the way at 38B.
So I guess it's funny now to be emasculating your man and to be embarrassing him in front of millions, huh? When he went out of his way to buy a ticket for not only himself, but for you, and you in return repay him by making him the laughing stock of that plane. These are the same woman.
I gotta get the Birdman hand rubbing on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the exact reason why we don't bring modern women from the United States overseas. Let me explain it in a way that y'all can get me on this one, because I want you to really hear me. For all of those in the nosebleed, ladies and gentlemen, this is the exact reason why you don't bring sand to the beach. I repeat, do not bring sand to the beach, because ain't no way, baby, you gonna disrespect me by me paying my hard-earned money to bring you on vacation with me. Maybe it's overseas, maybe it's not, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna spend my hard-earned money on you for you to disrespect me the way that you just did. My man, MTR, shout out to him, man. He broke it down in the best way humanly possible. You're gonna embarrass me in front of all these people after I spent my money on you to not only buy a ticket for myself, a ticket for you as well. And you're just getting on me or getting, in your feelings, or you're just popping off and making these videos about you not being in first class. Baby girl, did you not think for 1 second that maybe you don't deserve first class? Because you have no class? I mean, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you don't deserve first class because you don't have any class. And this isn't necessarily race specific, ladies and gentlemen. You can find women of all races that will disrespect their man. Not all of them, but you know what I mean, right? You can find women of all races that could disrespect their man in public. As long as they got a camera and something to record, they say some ignorant shit. That can happen from anybody, from any place, anywhere. So I'm not making it specifically about a particular group of individuals. But I am saying this. That's the type of shit that's making men in general want to get away from all y'all. You see, that's the type of shit that a man don't need, bruh. He spent his hard-earned money. I don't know what this man's job is. He could be busting his ass to be able to buy a ticket for you and him, right? And tickets ain't cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it a buck, man. Tickets are not cheap. I know right now, if I wanted to fly to the Philippines, I'm looking at about $2,000, right? Round trip. Imagine, my wife's here with me now, right? So if me and her both decided to go back, that's $4,000 round trip. You see? So them numbers add up when you add an extra person. Now, this man added you out of the kindness of his heart. And you have the audacity to disrespect him like that. Baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. He should have left your ass at home. He should have just left your ass at home and took the trip wherever he was going. I don't know where he going, don't care where he going. He should have did it by himself. Because I promise you, the trip would have probably been a whole lot more satisfying and fulfilling had your ass not been there. Because you couldn't really see the video camera and the image, but if you go back and watch the video, the look on his face is a look of embarrassment. And if there's one thing that women should know about men, if you don't know this, let me tell you. Because I heard somebody say it. I want to say it was the judge lady, Lynn Tomlin. What's her last name? Fuck. I think it was her. It could have been Tamala Hall. I forgot. Whatever. I forgot. With all due respect, I just don't remember who said it. I think it was Judge Lynn Tolver, whatever. And she said it in a clip that I watched recently. She was like, if there's one thing that's really unforgivable for a man, and this is true because I'll tell you straight to your face, is when you embarrass that man in public or you embarrass that man in front of people. That's some shit you can't come back from, right? Because that man's always going to remember that you were the one who pointed out a flaw or you pointed out something about this guy that he didn't want to be made known to the public, or you embarrassed him in a way that questioned his manhood in any way, shape, or form. There's no coming back from that. Most men would handle that situation the best they can, and they will never deal with you ever again. And I pray this man is no longer dealing with your ass, because you're not going to embarrass me in front of people I don't know, random fucking strangers, let alone people that I fuck with. You're not going to go out and embarrass me in front of my people and expect to come back from that. All right? Because at that point, now people are going to be looking at me, and they're going to be like, yo, you just going to let your woman do that shit to you? Like, you just going to let her pop off and say shit like that to you? That's not okay, right? That's not okay. And I'm not asking the man to retaliate with any type of violence or anything like that. That's the time you walk away. After that vacation, if you really want to push it all the way through, I would have walked off the plane, man. Say, fuck it, man. I charge it to the game. Ticket's gone. I'm not spending a fucking another dime on you, period. Because if that's how you gonna play me right now, and I'm not even your husband, because I think she said, oh, this is the first time me and my boyfriend or some shit taking a trip together and all this shit. Bruh. One time. That's all it takes with me. You only got one opportunity and one chance. Do that shit if you want to, but there's no coming back from that, right? There's no coming back from it. I don't care who the fuck you are. You're not coming back from that. Because you're not gonna disrespect me in front of people I don't know, let alone my own people, like my family and shit, with some shit that you just said, laughing it off. You know your boy working. And get away with it, man. It's just not gonna happen. So, my brother, I pray for you. You know, if you haven't found you a beautiful young lady to at least talk to overseas, man, you need to holler at the good doc, man. I will gladly put you on, sir. You don't need me to put you on. There's a lot of other people that could do it, but I will gladly bring you into the fold and give you some good, plausible, some information, bro. I do the best that I can for you because no man should have to deal with that type of ridicule and disrespect. My wife knows off the rip. If she ever did anything like that, her ass is gone. Like, done. Like, I will divorce you tomorrow for that shit because there's no coming back from it. I'm always gonna look at you like the young lady who fucking disrespected me in front of people. How we get down behind closed doors and all of that shit is completely different than how we handle ourselves in public. If you want to joke around with me and talk, you know, little gibberish and throw your little jabs and shit behind closed doors, that's not necessarily okay. But as long as it's behind closed doors and it's not in front of or within earshot of somebody else, I can live with that. But the minute that you jump ship and you start popping off at the mouth in public to me, at that point, people are going to be looking at me like a man who doesn't have a control of his relationship, number one. People are going to look at me like a man who's emasculated, and number two. And B, you know where they're going to go to? They're going to go to that popular B word, not throwing up any blood gang signs, but throwing up the B word. They're going to start calling you beta, right? They're going to start calling you beta. Or the other B word, they're going to start calling you a bitch, right? So it's like, bro, what do we got going on, right? No man could ever have, you can't respect the man that's allowing this woman to talk shit to him like that in public. My guy, you need to go overseas, bro. And I'm not saying that you can't deal with the same situation overseas, but those situations are few and far between, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you why. Because these women have respect for their men. And you think that it's all about, oh, they're just going for the sex and the sex trafficking and all this shit. I say it time and time again. These women are far more respectful to their men than you are. They respect men in general. It's not just respect for just black men more specifically, but that also plays a major part into it. But respect in general, they respect their men. And they would never do that. They would never come out of pocket and embarrass their men like that, right? They just wouldn't do it because they know their role. And I'm not saying that from the perspective of, oh, you need to know your role. You need to be in a relationship. You need to cook, clean. Not that role. It's just the role of themselves in the relationship. They're the woman. They respect their man in public, i.e. as long as that man is doing right by you, i.e. spending his hard-earned money to take your ass somewhere, I think you ain't got the right to say a motherfucking thing about that man like that. As long as he's doing right by you, you have no right to talk about him like that. And that's why, brothers, if you haven't already considered a life overseas, or you haven't already considered seeing what the opportunities exist in other countries, I'm telling you right now, if y'all want to deal with this, that's perfectly fine. I can't tell you what to do with your life. If this is what you want to do with the rest of your life, i.e. be and or deal with combative young ladies, and you know, you can sit there and try to say, well, oh, y'all just don't know how to handle these women. Why do I need to handle you? All right, why do I need to learn how to handle a woman? What the fuck, man? If you're out here busting your ass every day like I do 24/7 and I'm working and shit, why the fuck do I want to come home and have to handle my wife? Or why do I want to be in a relationship where I feel I have to handle her? As in, I have to deal with her nonsense and then I have to constantly put her in her place. Oh, that's all they want. They just want a man to put them in their place and stuff like that. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to tell you where I need you to be? If I already let it be known once, why do I have to do that on a consistent basis, right? Because again, in a relationship, guys, we were figuring each other out. Don't think my wife didn't test me. Don't think she did. Of course she did. She had to. She had to see what she could get away with and what she couldn't get away with. That's life shit, period. But she learned quick, right? Some shit I'm just not cool with. And the beautiful thing about my relationship, I love her to death, and y'all know this, and I'm gonna just say it from the bottom of my heart. My wife knows I'm not afraid to lose her, right? I'm not afraid to lose her. I have her. She's mine. I'm my wife. That's my wife. That's my boo thing, right? That's my young lady. I love her to death. To the day that I die. That's my young lady. But if she fucks up in any way, shape, or form, and it gets to the point where there's something that she does that she can't come back from, do you think that I'm afraid to draw up divorce papers and call it a day? I'm not. Because again, as a man, you have to have some fucking self-respect, right? And some people will be like, oh man, you just gonna let it go over something simple as her making a video about you embarrassing you in public? You goddamn right I will. Because at the end of the day, everybody's seen it. And at the end of the day, the way that I look at it is, how can I bring her around my family if my family is aware of the situation? Think about that. How can I, as a man, bring my wife around my family, my mother, my father, my brother, my auntie, my grandmother, my people in general, don't matter who it is, my cousins, and they all know about the situation? How can we ever have a family gathering anymore knowing that she did what she did? Oh, I forgave her, but do you think they are going to? Probably not. You know, they don't, we not them type of people, right? I can explain it time and time again, but you think they're going to look at her the same? No. Do you think the energy in the room is going to be off? Absolutely. So you got to understand that it's not so much about the relationship between you and that particular young lady, because again, what happened behind closed doors, that can be fixed, right? Behind closed doors, it can be fixed. But once it's made public, you can't take that back. That's what I'm getting at. Once it's in public and people see this woman basically, and I'm calling it degrading because that's what it feels like to me. Once they see that shit, they ain't no coming back from that. Not in my eyes, bro. You done. You done. I'm done with your ass if that happens. So that's just something I want you guys to think about, man. Marinate on it. If you want to continue dealing with women in the West that are just, or modern women in general, because that could be modern women in any other country. Let's keep it real. Y'all do that. I'm not gonna fight you to go overseas and, you know, channel into different prospects or to look at a different way of living, different opportunities. I'm not gonna tell you to do it if you don't want to do it. Because no means no, ladies and gentlemen, and I respect your boundaries, gentlemen. But what I will tell you is this. This ain't common. This ain't common amongst women in general. This is not common practice, right? I've dealt with women that have done this, and I've dealt with women that have not. And when I tell you that far more don't do it than do it, something I need you to marinate on. That's my time, effort, and energy, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good time, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Shout out to the big homie MTR for dropping this short real quick and getting straight to the point, because ain't no way, big dog. Ain't no way. That's it, man. Good talk is out. Peace.